Great seeing my next guest back in action. UFC Fight Night, November 19th. He's taking on Kevin Natividad. It is Ricky Turcios joining me here on the program. Ricky, how are you?
I'm great, baby. Feeling fantastic. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, good times, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, and excited to see you, like I mentioned, back in action. Was this the right amount of time off in between fights?
Hey, I mean, pretty much. It was the right amount of time. I didn't even have any time in between fights. You know what I'm saying? I fought in July. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, just kept the ball rolling right into this next fight coming up in November. You know what I'm saying? So, literally, I always take from that is that experience inside that ring. You know what I'm saying? Literally, the fist fight, bing, bang, boom, still have the blood on the hands. You know what I'm saying? Then, hey, we just keep it rolling now into this next fight in November. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm grateful for that.
What did you learn the most from that last fight that you're bringing into this one?
Good question, actually. You know, you learn from your losses and you learn from your wins. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So like literally, what I learned from the most recent one. You know what I'm saying? Just like, hey, I came in with a certain game plan and everything like that, and then you know, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that that I was feeling really good inside the ring and everything like that, inside the octagon when the times was going down. I was landing my kicks, landing my punches, and everything like that. But you know, it didn't go my way in the scorecards. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have been a little bit more hyper aggressive in the fight, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Similar to how I was in the Ultimate Fighter tournament. You know what I'm saying? I know all the fights I had in the tournament, they were the wars, they were the bangers. You know what I'm saying? In the moment of the fight, you know, I thought what I was doing was working. You know what I'm saying? But obviously that's not the case. But it's all good. Hey, baby, you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? You come back stronger for the next one. So it's all good.
And a great opponent here in Kevin Natividad. Really excited for this one. Just style-wise, how are you looking at this one? How do you feel like you match up against him?
Yeah. Natividad, he a great opponent. You know what I'm saying, for us. So I'm glad that we're gonna be inside that octagon, going toe to toe, blow for blow. You know what I'm saying? I guess without giving too much, you know, I like his style. You know what I'm saying? I like his style. He come in there, he got a full mix up. You know what I'm saying? He grapple. He'd like to throw punches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for a banger. I'm ready for a good fight. I'm prepared for a war. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what I would say is just like, hey, if we got to go all 15 minutes to war, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I plan on keeping my defenses up and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he gonna have his defenses up too. So if that's the case, then we're gonna have to go to war for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you know, they make a mistake, then have to capitalize, whether it's a jiu-jitsu, some wrestling, or with the punches and the stand up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm ready for. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
You're back in Texas now. I know you sort of split time between there and Team Alpha Male in California. How have you structured camp leading into this fight?
Yeah, I always love my time in Houston and in California. Houston, that's my home. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gracie Ball, the Woodlands. That's my home gym since I was 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I got much love for my boys. I couldn't have done it without them. You know what I'm saying? All my time in Cali, you know what I mean? I remember in 2015, that's when I moved out there to Sacramento when I was living out there from 2015 all the way through 2020 before the pandemic hit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Team Alpha Male. I couldn't have done it without them either. You know what I mean? That's Sacramento. That's my home away from home. That's my second home. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's amazing. Going out there in between camps, you know what I'm saying? In between camps and in camp, you know what I'm saying, to Sacramento, training with the boys at Team Alpha Male. It's always a great one because, like, I be hitting it with, you know, the legends over there, you know what I'm saying, all the legends over there. We got, you know, Uriah Faber, you know what I'm saying, that boy Clay Guida, you know what I'm saying, shout out to that boy Darren Elkins, you know what I'm saying, man, shout out to Coach Castillo, you know what I'm saying, and shout out to Coach Joey, you know what I'm saying, and all my training partners too, man, they be helping me out so much, you know what I'm saying, real talk. All the boys from the beginning when I moved out there in 2015 to now in 2022, we out there still grinding with the old homies and then making new friends out there too. Every time I go in there for new camps too, because we always have people coming internationally. So shout out to all the boys from Russia, you know what I mean? Team Russia, Team Italy, Team China, Team Brazil, you know what I'm saying? Man, so I got too many homies that I could name, you know what I'm saying? So, but it always be amazing every time I go out there to Team Alpha Male because, you know, get the full mix up and everything. And it's like, I remember all the sacrifices from back then, you know what I'm saying, when I was living out there in 2015 all the way through 2020, and all the sacrifices I was making when I was living out there, you know, being away from the family. It was great.
Yeah, and
now when I come back to visit, you know what I'm saying, it's like I get the memories of the old, you know what I'm saying, but then I got the new flair too of the new things that I'm doing. So it's the oldie, but I'm always getting new stuff too, new looks from the coaches, new looks from my training partners out there. You know what I'm saying? And then two, I get to test out the things that I'm working on over here with my boys at Gracie Bar, the Woodlands at home in Houston too. You know what I mean? So it's always like, I always get to mix it like that. What I'm doing in Houston, then I go test it out in Cali. I go learn some things in Cali, then I come back home to Houston, then I go and test it out over here with the boys too, get to share with the information all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I also love coaching as well, baby. You know what I'm saying? Coaching the adults, coaching the kids, you know what I mean? So keep gaining that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And just keep improving. Let's go.
Yeah, you mentioned back home. Who do you mainly get to work with back in Houston? Who you get to get a chance to work with?
Yeah, you know, shout out to my boy Alex Morono. You already know he be out here getting them dubs in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Matthew Wald. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones we've been in here since we were young boys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Jake Heffernan. You know what I'm saying? We've been at this since since we were teenagers. You know what I'm saying? For real. Shout out to my boy Cameron Graves. You know what I'm saying? We'll be out here. Shout out to my boy Daniel Pete. You know what I'm saying? We'll be out here getting it in every day. Man, we got a whole bunch of the pros every time. Excuse me, I'm drinking this coffee right now too, so I'm out here. But anyways, we always be hitting it with all these boys, you know what I'm saying? Grinding. You already know the grappling, the striking, the sparring, the strength and conditioning. Shout out to my boy Kendall Weeks, you know what I'm saying? We out here. I'm going to just keep it going. It's all good, baby. We going to be here for the minute, right?
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
They be pushing me, you know what I mean? All the boys, they be pushing me day in and day out, you know what I'm saying? And whatever we be getting inside the on the mats, you know what I mean? So yeah, we have a great time, and it's a great system we got over there at Gracie Bar, the Woodlands. You know what I'm saying?
What type of coffee you're drinking? I'm always curious about these things.
You know, I literally just put a little bit of I make my coffee strong. You know what I'm saying? And then I literally just put a little bit of some organic creamer in there, throw a little bit of organic milk in there. You know what I'm saying? I like my coffee sweet, me personally. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm sipping on.
I like it. I can dig it. Your corner, who will be in the cage with you that night?
Yeah, I got my boy Morono pulling up. I got my boy Matt pulling up, and then I got Coach Joey pulling up as well, you know.
Good stuff. And I know you feel like you're going to win, otherwise why sign the contract? But how do you see the fight playing out on November 19th?
Hey, you know, all I say, you know, I just say, hey, primero adios, inshallah. I get the victory with my hand raised by any means necessary, whether it's decision, knockout, submission, you know what I'm saying? You know, so number one, keep my defenses up in there, you know what I'm saying? Keep moving, boom, boom, throw my punches, you know what I'm saying? Throw my kicks, use my grappling. Be a smart fighter inside that ring, you know what I mean? And leave it all inside the octagon, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, God willing, I'm going to go out there and leave with the victory.
What'd you make of Islam Makhachev's win a couple weeks ago over Charles Oliveira? Really impressive performance.
Yeah, it was super cool. And, you know, I love, being a UFC fighter, you know what I'm saying? I'm also a huge UFC fan too, baby, you know what I'm saying? And Islam, he did incredible, man. I was like, that was such a high-profile fight. I'm a big fan of Charles Oliveira. I'm a fan of Islam as well, and I knew that it was going to be history in the making there in Abu Dhabi with whoever would win that fight. And man, every UFC, man, the big UFCs like this, martial arts history is being made inside that octagon. This is the real gladiator things, you know what I'm saying? And Islam Makhachev, he did incredible, you know what I'm saying? With he landed the big punch. And then right whenever he landed in that arm triangle position, you know, he's done this move thousands and thousands of times. It was so tight. Man, you know, he got a mean squeeze. That arm triangle was very impressive. And he's the new undisputed champion now. Yeah, so that was incredible to see. It was very impressive to see. So congrats to Islam like that. But, you know, now he's going to have to be fighting Volkanovski coming up next, man. So I'm super pumped for that fight too, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, and you already know I'm going to be rooting for Volkanovski. And now when that comes out next year in 2023.
You mentioned The Ultimate Fighter. How was that whole experience for you? I mean, obviously it worked out well, but, you know, looking back, what sort of stood out to you? What was some of your favorite memories from the show?
Yeah, I really appreciate you asking about The Ultimate Fighter, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a memory I'm always going to hold dear to my heart, you know what I'm saying? There's no other, like, martial arts tournament that's going to put you in that type of situation like that where you're literally living in that house, reality TV and everything like that, and you're really just, like, isolated from all of society. So that was one of the things that really, really stood out to me a lot, man, that I still to this day, like, always remember like that, you know what I'm saying? Like having no music, we can't jam out. I was like, oh man, that was crazy. I remember the first time I heard music after I got out the house, I started crying. I was like, oh man, this sounds really good. You know what I'm saying? You know, no video games, no TV, no cell phone, no technology like that. So it's really good to kind of like be like, it's like a little, like a kind of somewhat of a, You know, like
it's a
old
it's a
school.
detachment. Yeah, it's nice. It kind of makes you focus on other things, right? Like
Yeah,
we're so addicted to technology. It's nice to, I'm sure, get a little break from that just
yeah.
mentally, right?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, like I remember I'd play video games a lot. You know what I'm saying? That after I left the house, I was like, oh man, I don't play video games as often now. You know what I'm saying? And like it was very like jungle style, man. They just pretty much threw us out there in the jungle, in the forest, and we just living in there. You know what I'm saying? It was like this fighter island. You know what I'm saying? It was really really cool. I really enjoyed it. I would do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? If I got the chance, you know what I mean? It was really cool. Or even maybe I'd love to coach it one day. Maybe, hey, primero Dios,
There
maybe
you go.
one day I could coach the show. You know what I'm saying? And I really love that whole experience, man.
Good.
It was so fun. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. And but yeah, the part that stood out to me the most was just that the isolation. You know what I mean? I think that even still to this day, I try to still recreate somewhat those types of elements. You know what I'm saying? The things I learned in the house, man, being the tough, like they say, Dana White calls it, this is the toughest martial arts tournament that you could ever do. You know what I'm saying? I was thankful that I had won the whole thing. You know what I mean? And I always look back on those memories of, you know, the pain that I had to go through in the tournament, the amount of like deep focus, how much I had to dive into my mind and dive into my heart for this tournament and everything like that, and everything that it pushed me through there, you know what I mean, with what I had to do internally, but then everything that was going on inside that house in the isolation, you know. So like I said, sometimes I do still remember to implement those types of elements too, like that, and like put myself in those type of isolation things as much as I can, or detach myself from some of those extra distractions, whatever, and things like that, or just sit down and be still, sit down and just close my eyes, meditate, do my deep breathing, you know what I'm saying, and just focus within, diving within, baby. That's how I feel.
I agree. I agree. I mean, you work out your body all the time. You got to work out your mind too. So it's important to get that little mental break, which is good. Who do you keep in touch with from this cast? You know, I talked to Brady Heastand, I think last week. It was, you know, I was asking him, he's like, seemed like there was a lot of camaraderie on the show.
Yeah, I keep up with all the boys, all of them, every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? We got a little group chat, me and all the Volkanovski boys. So we got a little group chat. So we'll send, you know, whatever, some little messages or funny pictures, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll make sure I FaceTime with the boys. You know, I FaceTime with Brian Battle just the other day, you know what I'm saying? We be keeping up on the FaceTime, you know what I'm saying? I ran into the homie Brady the other day at a UFC pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? We were chopping it up over there, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we keep up. We make sure we keep up on the FaceTime or whatever and everything like that. So I keep up with all the boys like that. It's great, you know what I'm saying? Showing mad love, and then even the boys too. They weren't even on the Volkanovski team, you know what I'm saying? Even some of the boys from the Ortega squad. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? So still like message some of them, comment on them on Instagram, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So got mad love for that, you know what I'm saying? We was all in there. We was all in that house. It was different. It was different in there, you know what I'm saying?
Love it, man. Ricky, looking forward to this fight, man. November 19th, UFC Fight Night. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would say you know, just thank you to Gracie Baja the Woodlands. Thank you to Team Alpha Male, you know what I'm saying? And then you want me to plug a social, I guess. Yeah. Hey, remember to check out the YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? I'll be putting just like little fun videos there, here and there on my YouTube channel, Ricky Turcios UFC. So yeah, thanks for reminding me, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying?